Hi babes, hi. Mwah. Depending on when I post the next video, I ended up not having the anxiety attack. So I wanted to go ahead and go through the ultimate queer love. I will not be watching the straight one because I'm just not interested in straight couples. So let me start. Let me go through the thing. Okay, one sec. Let me get situated. Okay, so first up first, and I'll put the pictures on the screen. Yes, let's do Yoli and Mal. Okay, I don't have anything written down, guys. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna use this. I don't have anything written down. I'm just gonna give you guys my... Because I've already done like a video on this, technically. I've already done a video on this. So, I think Yoli... I think there's a reason, like, I truly understand why Mal didn't want to marry Yoli. Like, literally, Mal came onto this. Oh, and if you haven't seen my video on this, go watch my other videos on this, because I've already kind of talked about some of this stuff. I understand completely why Mal was like, I don't want to marry Yoli, because she falls in love really fast, and what makes me different from the other people. And I'll be good goddamned if Yoli didn't fall in love with Xander's ass and was like, I might want to marry Xander type shit. Like, I'm in love with Xander now. I hung out with Xander for like 3 weeks and I'm in love with Xander. And don't get me wrong, that's typical lesbian relationships. But I was just like, wow, Yoli, wow, you did exactly what Mal said you were going to do. To roll my sleeves up a little bit. You did exactly what Mal thought you were gonna do. It's like, of course Mal wasn't secure with you. Mal called that shit. She called that shit. She was like, I know my girl. She go quick. She go quick and easy. And Yoli went quick and easy. Don't get me wrong. Xander was like mommy and daddy. I said this in my last video. I don't like even on all my dating apps, I like a good femme. I like a good femme. I like a good chapstick. Or I like somebody like me who flows between being femme and mask. But I don't like mask because I'm too mask, if that makes sense. And I'm more attracted to like femmes. Don't get me wrong, a mask and a mask can get together. But I really do just like the femmes. I was all over it. Wow, look at the difference. Look at what happens. Look at it when you comb it out. Look at what happens when you comb it out. And look at what happens when you don't. But it has to get combed out. It has to get combed out. It has to get combed out. I need to comb it out. It looks so crazy when it's combed out or brushed out. Brushed out is the worst. If you have curly hair, you know. Anyway, so I'm not mad at Mal. I'm not mad at Mal. I think a lot of people rush into marriage and rush into having babies and living together, especially in the lesbian community. So Mal was really right. I mean, I had this dumbass, person that I knew back in Ohio. She was, 23 or 24. She literally got pregnant on purpose because her boyfriend wouldn't marry her. So, flaw number one, if he doesn't want to marry you, why'd you end up getting pregnant by him? You can divorce him. You cannot unhave that baby. And then second, she was like, well, all my other friends have kids, so it's time for me to have one. You're 23, 24, calm down. Calm down. You don't have to, I'm 25. I'm not pressed about getting married or having a kid. Oh my God, to end up randomly getting pregnant by this man just because he wouldn't marry you. So that's crazy. But people be like that. So I understand where Mal was coming from when Mal was just I want to wait. I want to make sure we have money and I don't trust Yoli. So in that couple, pretty much, I agree with everything that Mal was saying from the I don't really when it comes to Yoli, I don't believe that, I'm any different or any special because Yoli falls really hard, really quick. And then also with the whole, I just want to wait until we're more financially stable or I'm more financially stable. Now, I watched this other review video. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not know that Mal was 37 years old or something like that, I think. And I just saw this picture. Let me double check with you guys. Oh, Mal's 36. I'm sorry, but you should have your shit together by then, honey. No bullshit. If everything keeps going the way it's going, all my shit will be together in 6 paychecks. In 6 more paychecks. So in about 2-3 months, all my shit will be together. And I'm only 25. And different strokes for different folks. We're not all running the same race. But at 36, your shit should be together. I'm not gonna lie. But I do get where Mal was coming from. Like, let's not rush this thing. Let's make sure I'm what you really want. And as we saw, Yoli like ran into Xander's arm, so it's like, and I'm not saying Xander's not special. Low key, I feel like it could have been anybody with Yoli. Low key, not gonna lie. I feel like Yoli is one of those people. It could have been anybody, but I do want to like say that I do understand where Mal was coming from. Like, I think and they have like a history. Like, there's something's up with them. Like, there's some shit that happened in their past. They both kept low key like dropping little things about like shit from their past that make them not really trust or fuck with the other one. But if I had to choose a side, I'm on Mal's side. Yoli is like a fucking roller coaster. Like, I didn't know where she was about to go. She was kind of shady. Like, how do you meet Xander and take your wedding ring off? Like, little shady bitch. Like, why would you give Xander false hope and shit? Like, and then she didn't tell Mal that she met up with Xander's ass. And you know what? Vanessa's trifling stank ass couldn't. I agree with Yoli. That Vanessa's bitch ass couldn't wait to bring that shit the fuck up. She did not change at all. That's why Xander still don't want a raggedy ass. Like, she really couldn't wait to bring that shit up. I was sitting there, and when Vanessa said that shit, I was like, oh God, fucking, you just don't fucking die. She's like a roach. Like, I was like, fuck. I'm not even on Yoli and Xander. That I'll get to that. I'm not even on. I like them. They're cute, but I wasn't not on a side. Vanessa just does not fucking stop, man. Vanessa's like, she's not even like a good Regina George. Everybody was like, oh, she's the queen bee. Like, she causes the most commotion. But she's not like a Tiffany Pollard. She's not a Tiffany Pollard. She's not a Tiffany Pollard. Like, when New York Tiffany Pollard was on the fucking scene, the cameras were on her ass. Cameras, Tiffany Pollard. Tiffany got her own show. Tiffany this, Tiffany that. Everybody loves the HBIC. Like, literally. Evelyn Lozada is a queen bee bitch. Instigator, starting shit, ready to fight, ready to get in the mix. Evelyn Lozada, Tiffany Polo, Regina George, they are top queen. When the camera's on them. Like, it's ready to go. Vanessa gave like bitch instigating drama starting energy, but didn't give a reason. Like, I love Tiffany Polo. I love Evelyn Lozada, even though Evelyn's very problematic. Regina George type shit. But like, Vanessa was like just a cunt. She was just a cunt. Like, there was no likable qualities. Like, the shit wasn't funny. When New York, Evelyn, and Regina's on screen, that shit is funny. That's part of why, like, you eat that shit up. They're toxic. They're crazy. They're really like on some shit. Like Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop. Always in some shit, always starting something, always ready to beat somebody's ass. But like, it's funny, and they're normally right. Like, New York was right about a lot of shit. She was crazy and handled it in a wild ass way. I wouldn't. But it's funny and it's entertaining and they're right. Vanessa was never right about shit. She was always in some shit. She ugly as fuck. She was always starting shit. Like, Nanny McPhee just was always running amok. And I agree with Yoli. She couldn't wait to tell Mal that shit. Oh, like, you guys didn't try? Like, damn, bitch. Damn. Like, damn. Damn. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Mal have to check Vanessa's ass because she tried to text what was it? She tried to text, but Vanessa texted Mal on some weird shit, like telling her, and then Mal was like, you know what? If they have something going on, that's between them. You trying to tell me is ridiculous. And I'm like, bruh, you always trying to fucking snitch, dog. Like, damn, you always fucking snitching. Like, shit. And the shit you be snitching about, like, people care, but they don't care because it's coming from your mouth. She almost should have told Ray. Well, Ray wouldn't have said nothing for real. But she almost should have told somebody else to say that shit. Like, she was a trip. But in that whole situation, I really do agree with Mal that, like, you know, let's wait till we get some money, even though Mal was 36 and should have had that shit together. And, let's wait till we get some money. And, like, honestly, you should have just left Yoli. Like, y'all, let me say this. If you're coming on this show, your relationship's already fucked up. You shouldn't have to force anybody to marry you. You shouldn't have to give people ultimatums. Let me make that very clear. Like my friend that had a baby on that man and he didn't want to marry her dumbass. If you're out here having threesomes to save a relationship, if you're out here forcing babies and having babies. If you're out here getting married, that shit ain't gonna save your relationship. If you gotta force anything like that in your relationship, like big life altering decisions, I've had plenty of threesomes with girls I've been with. It ain't never been to save the relationship. It ain't never been to save the relationship. It ain't never been like, okay, well, we're on ice. Let's go ahead and fuck somebody together. This shouldn't cause any problems. Let's go ahead and give ourselves an 18-year life-altering change by having a baby. Let's get married. That'll do it. Let's force each other to have to legally be on documents with each other. That should fix everything. That's the dumbest shit ever. If you have to force somebody to marry you, don't marry them. Like, that's insane. That's insane. I mean, I would give them a choice, like, hey, could you let me know, like, if this is what you want to do? And if they're like, yeah, I'm still not sure, you gotta bounce. Like, you need to bounce. But, so in that whole Mal and Yoli situation, I totally agree with Mal to some degree. But let's go to Ray and Lexi. Lexi. I love Lexi. She's so cute. She's so funny. I really like her personality. It's, like, really chill. Ray, I watched so many videos on people's reactions on Queer Love. Ray is so stiff. Like, it was so funny when what was it? When Lexi was talking about, oh, I don't know how I would do with Vanessa because she's so hyper, like when they were gonna be a thing, maybe, and she's like, she's so hyper, da da da. I don't really like things like that. And Mal's so quiet and, like, you know, peaceful, and Mal's nice. Low key, she did not like Vanessa. Lexi didn't, because Lexi was off the chain and Ray is boring as fuck. I like Ray. Ray was cool. Ray wasn't really in no shit for real. But let's be honest. Ray boring than a motherfucker. Ray is boring than a motherfucker, Ray is. Ray is so goddamn boring. Ray is so goddamn boring. Can we just be honest about how boring Ray is? I was so bored. Snooze fest every time Ray's ass came on. And she talks like she's on acid. Like, are we sure Ray wasn't popping Molly? Like, are we sure Ray wasn't, like, eating mad edibles? Like, I eat edibles. I know an edible. Like, are we sure? Does Ray really act like that? I'm not saying that Lexi's hyper as fuck, but Lexi's fun. Lexi is fun. Like, legitimately. Oof. Should have started at the bottom. Don't do what I'm doing, by the way, guys. I'm not doing my hair the way you should be doing hair. You should make sure it's way more combed out before you use something like this. But, I was like, wow, wow, Ray is so boring. Let's talk about, Fingergate. I don't think Ray was wrong for fingering Vanessa. False the fuck off, Lexi. You guys said that shit was cool. If I'm mistaken, please leave it in the comments. But I think they said that, like, they had talked about it and they wanted each other to enjoy the full experience. But like Lexi said, if it happened with somebody else, I don't think she would have even fucking cared. I think it was literally the fact that it was with Vanessa. But at the day, honey, let that shit go. Let that shit go. Xander was fucking around with Yoli. And Yoli treated her bitch like shit. And I know Vanessa did some shady shit, and that's why Lexi didn't like her. But on a serious note, you just have to let that shit go. You have to let that shit go. Like, seriously, I know. And it ruined the relationship. I think, ultimately, that's why they didn't work out at the end, Lexi and Ray. And it's like, I get it. Nobody likes Vanessa. I would be disgusted if any of my partners fucked Vanessa. I can't believe, like, Xander's head was between Vanessa's legs at some points in the last 5 years, like 6 years. Like, that is disgusting, Xander. That's really nasty as fuck. But, like, that is whatever. That's whatever. I guess I'd be salty too if, like, my girl got fingered Vanessa. But it's not that deep. Like, you just have to understand that happened. They were alone together, you know, Vanessa's Vanessa. They've said openly multiple times it wasn't like no Xander and Yoli shit. And I think if it had been anything remotely like Xander or Yoli, Vanessa would have made that shit so clear. And you even saw it on camera. Like, we saw it. Like, they even said, like, as soon as it happened, like, Ray was like, oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, it was like immediate regret. And, like, really, Vanessa didn't give two damns. Like, it really was nothing. Really was nothing. But that's easy for me to say, somebody who hadn't been dating Ray and thought I wanted to marry Ray and have like this insane hatred for Vanessa. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't, I don't know. I just didn't think it was that serious. Like, I understood why Lexi was upset, but at the end of the day, like, calm down. Like, this is kind of what you signed up for and shit. So I don't know. Oh, look at that. Look, it literally looks like a triangle. Crazy. But, I don't know. So, I get it, I guess. I get it. I get why she's upset. Let's talk about Lexi and Maul. I feel like Lexi had good times with Maul, but she couldn't give Maul, like, a real chance because she was... I get it. And they both still love their partners. It was more of like, let's just find different ways to interact with somebody so I can take these new traits back to my partner. They both, in their defenses, really just cared about their partners. Like, their partners that they came with. I have to use the bathroom, guys. I will be right back. Hi, babes. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so I liked Ray and Lexi together, though. I thought they had a cute relationship. I thought Lexi, especially being the 24-year-old, she's like a little, like, not aggressive. I think, don't get me wrong, this banana stuff smells just like banana. It smells just like banana. Don't get me wrong. I really, really do like Lexi. I do. She's just like a tad bit, like, strong. She's just, let me move this. She's just like a tad bit too, not even aggressive. She's not like Vanessa. She's just like very like, why can't you feel the way I want you to feel in my head? Like that type of shit. Like, it's more just like, why aren't you doing what I picture you doing in my head? And Ray is just such a robot that, like, I don't think they would have worked out regardless. Like, honestly. Like, so I'm kind of glad, like, they went on the show, because maybe, like, then they had family and friends. And fucking Lexi's parents, I love them. They trying to talk sense into their daughter, and their daughter's, like, deaf when they talk. I think, I love her parents, not gonna lie. I think they have, like, they're really sweet and understanding, and I think they're just, like, good parents. I like them. I think they were, like, it was crazy for her to, like, say that shit. Like, I did not like that when Lexi had Ray there, and she's like, and you had sex with that other girl, and the worst girl in the show. She's, like, telling her parents, like, about Lexi's little thing, and it's like, why would you do that? Because she's 24. That's the whole bit. Most people are not mature at 24, and don't get me wrong, me and my siblings will, because we had to grow up at, like, kids. We had to grow up very fast. We had a very traumatic off and on childhood. But Lexi's one of those immature 24-year-olds that's why it should almost be illegal not to get married until you're, like, 25. It really should be. I swear to you, it should be illegal to get married until you're 25. Because that's not even safe for most people. But shit, then it, helps a little bit. But it's it's a little too much. Like, Lexi doing that shit to Ray, telling her parents that, like, oh yeah, this is what she did, da 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 da. It's like, why are you saying that? I was like, why, Lexi? Why are you saying that? That's so weird. But other than that, I like Lexi, I like Ray. I've seen some videos where people talked about if they would date one of them, like, if they would date one of the people. I wouldn't date Maul because like Maul at 36 should have your shit together. Like, and just someone like me who's like doing YouTube, doing OF. I currently have 2 jobs, and not only doing OF, not only doing YouTube, not only like a manager at one job, you know, working all the time at the other job, still making time for my dog, and then I'm in college to become a doctor. I don't have time for a 36-year-old that still doesn't have it all the way together. You know, like, I'm just gonna be honest. Yoli's like a windshield. Like, I'm not even, she's one way the next, and then the next way the other. Like, I'm not even gonna, I wouldn't be doing all that. I wouldn't be doing all that. Like, seriously, like, Yoli's like too fucking much for me. Yoli would give my relationship anxiety. Like, I don't trust Yoli. Yoli's like annoying to me. Like, and she's shady. She's so sneaky and shady. Like, wow, that was some shady shit she was doing. Like, wow, I don't trust Yoli. Yoli's like mad sneaky for the shit she was doing. Like, not gonna lie. So I don't trust Yoli. And honestly, if I had to go just based off attraction, I'm only attracted to Lexi. I'm only attracted to Lexi. So if I had to go based off looks, I'd only be with Lexi. If I had to go based off personality and mentality, it'd be none of them. None of the 4 of them I would date or even sleep with. I wouldn't even have like a fuck buddy type of deal with them. Yeah, so that's that. If I think of anything else, I'll come back to you guys. But like, that's all I can think of so far with those characters. Is just like, Maul needs to get her shit together. She's very sweet, very pretty, but needs to get her shit together. One sec, guys. So yeah, needs to get her shit together. Yoli is like kind of weird, shady, and like, I don't know how Maul even ended up with Yoli for real, for real. I think they met at like a pride or something, but like, I don't trust Yoli. Like, she's kind of got like real bitch energy. Ray would just bore me to death. Like, I couldn't be with Ray. Oh, I should like shave my head. Like one of those hairstyles where you like shave it and it just has like the... I always loved that hairstyle, but I never thought I could pull it off. Anyway, but yeah, Ray would just legitimately bore me to death. I couldn't be with Ray. Ray is like a snooze fest. And then like Ray cries over shit. Like, and I don't like the way Ray cries. Like, I don't know. It's just... It's a lot. It was just... Yeah, I wouldn't be with Ray. Lexi's gorgeous, but Lexi's so pushy. Like, in the way she was, like, pushing back on Ray, pushing... And I liked watching her go off on Vanessa, because somebody needed to do that shit. And Xander needs to shut the fuck up and stop protecting the abuser. Kind of like what Tiff did with Mildred when Aussie was talking. But anyway, legitimately, like, I wouldn't be with... Lexi either. Lexi's like kind of pushy and annoying. Like, I wouldn't be with Lexi's ass either. So none of the 4 of them would I ever date. I would be friends with Maul. I wouldn't be friends with Yoli. She seems like one of them shady bitches. I'd be friends with Ray because I feel like you could play like board games with her because, you know, they don't require like a lot of talking depending on the board game. And Lexi seems like a down ass bitch. Like, I would totally be friends with Lexi, but I would not date Lexi. Let's go to the next couple. Should I even do Xandel and Vanessa? I feel like I did like a whole video pretty much. It was supposed to be like a review, but I think I did like a whole video on like Vanessa and Xandel. But we can go through them real quick. Xandel, I don't like the mask type, but like Xandel's ass, I like Xandel a lot. Xandel is so fucking pretty and handsome at the same time. Like, I really like Xandel. I really like Xandel. Okay. So sorry. Like, my boss scheduled me today. I said this in my last video. I don't think I said it in this one. My boss scheduled me today to come in the work, the manager one. And I told this woman that I work, I have to open at my other job on Wednesdays. She's probably just told me I'm fired. But literally, so I told her I can't come in, and then she keeps asking me, she's like, well, I don't have anybody else to come in, like, you need to come in. I'm telling you, like, my other job said I have to come in, and I told you that, like, Wednesdays, I cannot work at your job. I can work every other day but Wednesday, or I can work at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., but I can't do anything else. And I don't think she's taking no for an answer, so I probably am going to get fired or something. Because, I don't know, I've never been written up at a job. at all, but like, I don't know. So I don't even know. I'm not even gonna check that text message. I'm already having a really bad anxiety day, so I'm not even gonna check it. So, speaking of anxiety, I could never be with Vanessa. I've been with an emotional abuser before. That shit is like that shit ain't for the weak. Like I tell you, they get in your brain and your heart. They will do some really, really bad shit, and you will be sitting there wondering why you made them do it. Like it is. Vanessa should have came with a trigger warning. Like Nanny McPhee was not fucking around. I'll tell you what, she was not fucking around. I really like Xandel. I thought Xandel was kind of weak for defending what's her face. I never defended my when people would talk shit about mine, I would defend like their personality to a degree, but that manipulation shit, I did not defend that. I did not defend that shit at all. Cause you know what's happening. But you know, Tiff and Xander defended it, and everybody handles like mental and mental, physical, and emotional abuse differently. So not judging. I thought it was just very weak that Xander kept defending Vanessa. But towards the end, I'm glad she let that shit go. And that's the point. Once you wake up and once you get out of it, like, then you can see why it was problematic to be doing certain shit or whatever. Jesus Christ. Let's see. She's not happy. I know I'm gonna have to talk about this. I know this is gonna be a talking to. I can't even read it. I'm not even gonna read it. I can't even like deal with that shit right now. Cause it's not my fault, but it's like I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit. Ugh, I just need to graduate and be a doctor already, because I can't. But yeah, I just felt bad for Xander the whole time. Like when Vanessa was sitting there like saying fuck you. Like that's what you get. Like I've already done a video on this, so I might just like add that clip in. Or just like show you guys the video link so you guys can go watch it. But like literally, Vanessa sitting there saying fuck you the whole time to Xander, and then Xander defending that shit. Like, ugh, like I just did not like Vanessa at all. Like I did not like Vanessa. Vanessa was so lame and just troublesome and just. Then she tried to, like, I already brought this up, but then she tried to ask everybody, like, oh, so who would you fuck? Like, I'll do an orgy. Like, da, da, da. It's like, girl, like, man, she was annoying. But yeah, it was Xandel. I liked Xandel and Yoli. I just wish maybe Xandel had got with Lexi, because they probably would have got married. Like I think Lexi really, really like loved Ray, and I think she was all the way there for Ray. I think her and Mal were just better friends, if anything. I think they were just better friends, and I think the way Mal was showing up for Lexi emotionally was cool or whatever, but I think Xander would have been like the icing on the cake and just would have dwelled into it, and I think that would have been good. I liked that there was a cute couple that got created besides the one that they originally came in with. I just don't like Yoli. Like, that's it. I think Yoli's very weird. I think she was like, and not weird in like personality, I just think she's like fake. So I didn't like Yoli with Xander, because I feel like Xander had already been through enough with Vanessa, so that then go from Vanessa to like probably the other worst person on the show. Because like honestly, after Vanessa, Mildred, it's Mildred, then Tiff, then Yoli, honestly. But yeah, so I don't know, I would have liked to see Xander with Sam. That would have been bomb. That would have been bomb as fuck. I would love to have seen Xander with Sam, or maybe Lexi, but like not Yoli's whack ass. Like, come on, God, damn. But no, and then I get that like they tried to hang out after or whatever, and it didn't work. I wasn't mad about that. I'd be pissed too if I watch on TV that you just took that wedding ring off and now you in my face. Like I would have been pissed too. And I don't know. I don't know. And then you was texting both of them essentially and like telling one in their face like, oh, don't worry about this person and vice versa. Like Yoli just, oof. So I feel bad for Xandel. I feel bad for Xandel. Let's talk about Aussie and Sam real quick. Um, I liked Sam. She's one of my favorites on the show. She's better than me. I would have ended up hitting Tiff's ass, which is like Tiff is like that because of Mildred, I'd assume. And because Tiff Loki has like their own issues, like she has her own issues or whatever, but we'll get into that. But like I have a dog. My dog is my life. I hate when people say your dog isn't your baby. Like, yes, it is. I have to feed him. I take care of him. I take him outside. I buy him clothes. I take him to the vet. I nurture them. Most of my funds go to there. I can't do anything unless like somebody's there to watch my dog. Like, granted, the only difference is you can't leave a baby at home, but you can leave kids at home. So like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I feel like I hate when people like say that Tiff was taking it too far because the only thing she took too far, if somebody's not used to having a dog sleep in the bed, whether they have dogs or don't have dogs, you forcing that shit is weird as fuck. Like Romeo, my dog, he sleeps in my bed every single night. He's always with me. When I go on vacations, he goes with me on most vacations. It's weird as fuck to force that. That'd be like somebody trying to force their cat. I'm not sleeping in a bed that the cat is sleeping in. I'm not sleeping with a cat. I'm not sleeping with a cat. I wouldn't even sleep in a room that has a cat in it because of the way they like knock shit over at 3 a.m. Like I've slept in houses that have cats. They wake you up, they meow, they get on top of your face and shit. Like I do not like that. I'm not a cat person. And even if I didn't mind it, I'm not a cat person. Or even if that, I've never owned a cat. So it's like I think it's very, very weird to force someone into that. And then she was like, well, I had to sleep on the couch last night because you brought your dog that I'm not used to having. Like, I just thought Tiff was very selfish when it came to the dog. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I have a dog. My dog's my life. My dog is the strongest reason that I'm sober right now. And I've gone into that multiple times. If I didn't have Romeo, I probably would have OD'd for the third time. So my dog literally is the only reason I haven't OD'd again, because he's the reason I'm sober. Like I've been sober since I was 19. I'm 25. So like I totally get it. The dog's always happy when you come home. The dog is so sweet. The dog's so loving. I totally get that. There's no way in fuck if I was on this show and let's say I was with Xander's ass. And Xander was like, I don't want the dog in the bed. I'm not even used to that. I didn't have that growing up. Cool. I'm sleeping on the couch. I'm sleeping on the floor. It's fine. You know, week 1, I'll get the dog adjusted to not sleeping with me, and then I'll make him stay on the floor. Like, it's fine. This is a trial. Like, this isn't for the whole life. Like, that's weird. That was really weird to me, the way she was, like, on Sam's dick about that damn dog. And my dog is my baby. Like, don't get me wrong. I have a dog tattoo on my back. It's an infinity sign with, like, paw prints and shit. Like, you guys know. Like I love dogs. I always have. They've always been like the best thing about life to me, like, you know, but I would not do that shit to somebody. Like that shit was weird. That shit was very, very strange. That shit was very, very strange. It was just like selfish, honestly. Like I get it, your dog's your life, but like that shit was selfish. And I get it, your kid should come first, your dog should come first, but it'd just be like if I went over somebody's house with kids and their kids are like running around losing their shit, like don't have me over here if your kids are acting like fucking monkeys. Like I don't like that shit. Like I don't have kids. I'm not used to kids like that. Don't get me wrong, I have nieces and nephews, but like I don't want to deal with that shit. So I thought the way Sam was treated with Tiff was like fucked up. In saying that, I would like to say that Aussie, I said this when I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes. I said Aussie has like some childhood shit. Like childhood trauma sees childhood trauma. I could see that Aussie was like off about some shit or had bad anxiety. I'm not saying that Aussie is okay to not handle that shit the way she was handling it. But I've been there. I've been there when you try to walk away and somebody, like, I've had my hair pulled. I've had, like, the back of my shirt yanked back by family members, by friends, by ex-partners. And it's just because I'm not like Aussie. I wouldn't shut down or anything. I had like severe anger issues. Like if I tried to walk away and somebody forced me into talking, I'm just gonna beat your ass with every object next to me. Like, cause I asked you multiple times to let me walk away and go breathe. And if you don't let me walk away and go breathe, I'm just gonna fucking kill you. Like that's it. That was literally my mentality. I'm just gonna fucking kill you. So I think Aussie wanting to walk away and breathe was cool. no, I can't do that right now. I think Aussie wanting to walk away and breathe was totally fine, but I think Aussie's communication skills definitely needed way, way more work. I think the way Aussie shuts down like that, and then she's like, oh, well, we can only talk about it when I want to talk about it. I get that to some degree because I have to walk away. I have to breathe. I have to figure it out. But I think Aussie really needs to get some therapy. Aussie needs to come out to her family. Aussie's too old to not have come out by now. They're gonna disown you. They disown you. Don't get me wrong. Like, I came out when I was 14, and my stepdad threatened to like literally hang me. He threatened to kill me. He threatened to take out his gun and shoot me. He threatened to wrap rope around my neck, tie it to the truck. He didn't have a truck. He had a white Cadillac. But he threatened to tie make a noose around my neck, tie it to his truck, and drive down the highway until my head came off or I died. And this is what he told me at 14. So don't get me wrong, like, the shit's hard. Your family will disown you. He didn't come over for months, and he didn't talk to me for a while. He didn't stop being homophobic until I was like 22. So just like a few years ago. So don't get me wrong, I get it. The shit's hard, but like, she's a little too old to deal with all that. Like, I think she just really needs to go to therapy. I think that's the whole bit. She needs to go to therapy because the way like she communicates is piss poor, but it's from trauma and it's from other things and it's from anxiety, which that's fine. You don't have to, if you don't like to go tit for tat with somebody, that's fine. It's not even healthy. If you don't want to talk about certain things at a certain point because you're not comfortable or you need a second to breathe, cool, but you do have to talk about them. And that's what I'm going to get to with Aussie. Because sometimes if I'm going back and forth with a partner, family member, whatever have you, and like we're not getting anywhere, I want to walk away so you can rethink, I can regroup, you regroup, and we figure out what we're even like, what's the situation. When I walk away, I take time to reflect on what they said and what they were trying to get their point across, because it's not just my point that needs to get across. And it's not like, oh, they need to figure out what I was saying. It's more of like, I need to try to slow down, calm down, and comprehend what they were saying and what they were trying to grasp at and get at. So I get that. Aussie can walk away, but Aussie doesn't want to talk about it when Aussie comes back, and that's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem. Like, Aussie doesn't even want to talk about it when Aussie comes back. So when Aussie comes back, like, she still is not really ready to talk about it. And it's honestly, I didn't see a time where Aussie really let somebody talk to her. Like, she just shut down all the time, which is fine. She definitely needs therapy. Like, Aussie needs counseling, needs therapy. So that's whatever. That's definite, and that's okay that she hasn't healed from trauma. That's okay that she has anxiety. That's okay that she shuts down in that manner, but Aussie doesn't need to be dating then. That's the thing. Because relationships are communication, relationships are trust, relationships are being vulnerable with your partner, relationships are letting your partner get some shit off their back that they need to tell you about, and Aussie is not going to let Sam really do that shit. And the only good thing that came out of Tiff and Sam's relationship is they both learned really good qualities from each other, and Sam ain't the same bitch she was when they came in, so that's the whole bit. I think Aussie is like, honestly, like, pushing 50, she needs to go get some fucking help. She needs to go get some fucking therapy, for real, like, more therapy. She needs to either marry Sam or not, and I think she shouldn't. I think she should just work on herself for, like, 5 years. Or not even 5 years, like, maybe, like, 3, but she needs to grow up a little bit. Like I said, I have trauma. Sometimes I have to walk away. And shit like that. But she needs to, like, grow up a little bit and try to make some better changes with communication and things like that. She needs to come out to her family. I have so many closeted friends that, like, have these big burdens. And I tell them, like, not that, like, you know, it's easy. It's definitely not easy. But, like, you just gotta fucking rip the Band-Aid off. They're gonna like you or they're not. And if you know they're not, then just fucking prep for it. You gotta tell them in person. Write them a text. Like, fuck it. If you already know they're not gonna accept you, then whatever have you. But that, carrying the closet weight on your shoulders is, like, insane. And Aussie, like, that little breakdown Aussie had, like, clearly Aussie needs to get some shit off her chest. She needs to probably, fuck even coming out to the closet to them. She needs to confront. It seems like she needs to confront her family. I had so many family and friends, and I was kind of like that way. You just need one time to really confront the parent that was doing all that shit to you and like tell them about them goddamn selves. And you don't even gotta do it in post and send that shit over text. Send that shit over text. Because sometimes when you do it in post and you're yelling at them and it's not actually going into their brain, sometimes you really just gotta let the motherfucker know how they messed you up. Especially when it was when you were a kid. Especially if it was when you were a kid. Sometimes you just gotta let the person know. When I go back to Ohio, I'm about to do that shit to a family member. Sometimes you just gotta let them know, like, you were like the biggest antagonist in my life when I was a child, and it has caused me to have a lot of adult issues. Sometimes, even if they don't accept it well and they're just like, they shrug it off, it's just good for you to let them know. Like, it's just good in your psyche that you know you let them know, pretty much. But, yeah. So that's what I think. I really like Sam. I like how peaceful Sam is. I don't have any complaints against Sam. I think Sam's hot as fuck. I would date Sam. Like, I would really date Sam. I think Sam's gorgeous. I think Sam really is gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's compassionate. She's calm. She stands up for herself. I love that. I love Sam. I think Sam's a fan favorite across the board. She really is. She really is great. She wasn't one of those people that, like, when the partner was getting dogged out, she was like, you know, Aussie does this because of this. And, you know, she defended her partner, but she also was like, Aussie needs to stop doing this. And that was a very real thing to see. You would often see people either, like, talking mad shit about their partners, or you would see people, like, defending their partner, even though their partner just did some really crazy dumb shit. So I think, like, it's really important that Sam, in such a beautiful way, showed why both are important. Like, you need to defend your partner, but you can't just be letting this motherfucker, like, just go and go and go and go. Also, if you do another queer one, Netflix, have a queer host. I'm sorry. I know it's not that serious, but it is that serious. Have a queer host. I feel like half of the nonsense that was going on wouldn't have even been going on. And by queer, I mean lesbian. It cannot be a gay male. Like, I won't even take that shit. It needs to be a lesbian. I'll take a drag queen, actually. That would be fun, too. But no, there should have been a queer host, but that's a whole different video. This one's already about to be an hour long because I got way too much to say. I watched Tiff's video on YouTube. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I left a comment in there if you guys are looking for it. Let me just talk about... I have fucked, dated, and have a lot of Latina friends. Latina women don't act like that. That is a terrible, terrible stereotype. Crazy Latina, loud black woman. Like, it's a stereotype. It's a stereotype just like Karen. White women are nosy. White women call the police over everything. Black women are ghetto. Black women are loud. Black women are this. Latina women are crazy. They're loud. They're aggressive. Black women are aggressive. White women always want to, like, cause trouble. They're really, 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 really bad stereotypes. And I cannot fucking believe. And apparently she's illegal, which I've always rooted for the illegal immigrants, because, like, get them the fuck in here. Like, I've never seen a problem with that. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, hold you guys on that shit. But to be on television and you might be getting deported, which is apparently, according to Tiff, that's fucking insane if it's true. What a crazy situation. But to be, and then to be doing domestic violence, bitch, like, come on now. But to be on television pushing the crazy Latina, as a biracial woman, I would be just as disappointed if I saw a black woman on TV and being like, oh yeah, I do this because I'm black, this is how black women act. No, that's how your ghetto, disgusting, ratchet ass acts. That's how your ass acts. Do not put a race on that shit. I hate that shit. I don't like when there was one black woman at work and she's acting fucking crazy, and then all the people are like, oh, that's crazy black women, that's black women for you, that's why I don't want to work with any black women. It's not black women. It's not. It's that dumb bitch. It's lit. I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it at all. I don't know why I just lied. It's that dumb bitch. It is not all black women that act like that. I have a lot of black friends and a lot of black sisters. They don't fucking act like that. It's literally that one person. Same thing with the crazy Latina. I've dated a lot of Hispanic women. I've dated a lot of Latinas. I've told you guys that before. I've dated, I have a lot of Latina friends. You know, some I would even go as far as considering family. They don't act like that. They don't act like that. Mildred is a fucking train wreck. I think I've said that in the beginning when I had watched the first 1 or 2 episodes. Mildred is a fucking train wreck, and I can't believe she was over there saying it's because of her race. I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit. I have some mixed friends, and they try to say, oh, I can't do that. I'm too delicate. I'm mixed. What the fuck does that mean? Like, I hate. Like, unless you're using your race to talk about, like, your hair, and even then, because I have a few Irish friends, their hair is way more coarse than mine. Like, I don't even know how they're doing that shit, to be honest with you. Like, some of their hair is, like, fucking curly, man. Like, I couldn't even do that shit, to be honest with you. But, like, to some degree, you can use your race to describe your hair, but not even then. But why are you talking about a bad personality trait that you have and using it like, oh, sorry I act like this, I'm Latina. Sorry I'm like throwing and breaking shit, I'm Latina. Sorry I'm the biggest like cunt since Vanessa, I'm Latina. Like, stop bringing up your race. Stop bringing up your... That's why Aussie left your ass. That's why you were the only person that got left. Sam didn't even leave Tiff's ass. Like, that's why your ass got left. That's why your ass got left. That's why your ass got left. And Tiff had no business yelling at Aussie. That goes without saying. Your bitch is crazy. You knew that shit coming in. That's why you wouldn't marry her, dumbass. Oh, and then to find out you doing all that shit around your autistic son. My brother's on the spectrum. How dare you? They get scared just like dogs get scared. Like, what are you doing? If there's too much yelling and fighting going on, I've seen autistic kids cry. I've seen them literally shit themselves. My brother, he might start crying. His face turns red. He starts panicking and sweating. How dare you as a mother? You are a shitty ass mother, by the way. You are a shitty ass mother. You're doing that shit around your autistic ass kid? Like, yes, you're a shitty ass parent. You shouldn't do that around any kid, especially a child with special needs. Like, no, you are a shitty ass mom. You are a shitty ass mom. I don't even need to see any proof that if you're doing that in the house in your child's home, or even you're doing that in the house your child has to live in, or that screaming, fighting, breaking shit, domestic violence, yeah, you're a shitty ass mom. Like, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. I would have to say I didn't like, if I had to do like, let's see, those five couples, so those 10 people, let me do my top 5 that I didn't like. I didn't like Vanessa, Mildred. I would go as far as to say Mildred and Vanessa, they kind of do like this on my list, but like Vanessa, Mildred, Tiff, Yoli, and then Ozzy. No. Ozzy, yeah. My top would be Xander and Sam. And Lexi and Ray would be at the exact same, and Maul would be all 3 of them, which I'm so indifferent about those 3 characters. But let's go back to Tiff. Tiff yelling at Sam like that, bitch, like, I know you used to, boxing with fucking Mildred. How dare you just start fucking going at Sam's head over that? And you was going at her head over this goddamn dog. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my dog. My dog's my baby. Some people, like, don't say that. And some people get mad when I get presents for Mother's Day for, like, having a dog. I don't give a good goddamn. That dog is my baby. My whole life, I have to take care of him. I buy him the best food. I make sure he's always happy. Like, that's my son. That's why I'm sober. Like, that dog is my son. I wouldn't be going at nobody's neck like that for this dog to sleep in the bed. Shit, man. Honest to God, though, like, on my fucking life, like, to the stars and moon, if I had done the show and they said, when you go back with your partner, you can have the dog because your partner's used to the dog. When you're going with the trial marriage or the trial partner, your dog can't be in the house. I would have just not had my dog in the house for 3 weeks. Like, seriously, and You guys watch my YouTube videos. He's almost in every clip. Like I said, he's the reason I got sober. The day I bought him, I stopped taking so many sleeping pills and so many sleeping aids and I stopped buying codeine. Like I stopped doing Xans. Like I literally stopped all the drugs when I got this dog because I realized if I die, he's gonna go to the same people that cause me to have insomnia. This caused me to have panic attacks in my sleep. Like they're the reason I'm on these drugs to sleep throughout the night. So I can't die. I can't OD for a third time. If I had done the show and they were like, hey Taylor, so while you're living with Xandor, I love how I keep saying Xandor, but hey Taylor, while you're living with Xandor, you actually can't have the dog in the house for the 3 weeks because Xandor doesn't know the dog doesn't know Xandor, we just don't want any shit. I'd be like, cool, I get that. Like, the fact that you got to have the dog in the house was very shocking to me. Very cute. Netflix, love that. Why are you arguing over the dog? Like, I'm sorry, the dog, like, my dog is my baby. I thought that shit was fucking ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. And it makes dog people look fucking crazy. Like, I was taken the fuck back. I was like, you gonna go hard over this dog? Wow. Wow. It was very telling that, like, Sam got with the aggressor and Ozzy got with the aggressor. It was like, it's kind of like if like pre-Aang, if like the airbenders had to live with the firebenders. Like literally, it's like the Air Nation, if they had to live with the Fire Nation for some fucking weird reason right before the war popped off for 3 weeks. Like that, oh my god. That's the best description I can give. I was like, wow. I was like, that's really, really crazy. So, what's this phone at, by the way? 12%, goddamn, 12%. That's no good. But I was just really like taken back. I was really taken back. I was like, what a hell of a way to choose that. But like, I was disgusted. I was disgusted by Mildred and fucking Tip. I was so happy they broke up. I was laughing. It was funnier than seeing Vanessa cry. Seeing Vanessa cry is the funniest thing in the world to me. When she told Xandor, I can't even talk to you if you're gonna go with her. Bitch, you was the same person saying that Xandor wouldn't find anybody, and look at that. Like I said, y'all need to go watch my other video. But I was geeking the fuck out when Xandor did find somebody. But Mildred makes me sick to my goddamn stomach. That shit is not funny. That shit is not funny at all. I don't find people like Mildred entertaining in the fucking least bit. Mildred, once again, is not like New York, Evelyn, like any of that. That shit right there was like, you need help. You need help. Tiff is no better, to be honest. Tiff has anger issues, but Mildred definitely won't let Tiff talk at all. Mildred will like literally not even be talking and be like, can I talk? Can I talk? Like literally, Tiff will be going to say something, Mildred will say something, and Tiff will be finishing her sentence because she was talking first, and Mildred was like, you're not gonna let me talk? And I'm like, what? You weren't talking though. Like, you weren't talking, though. Like, what do you mean? Like, you weren't talking. Like, literally, Tiff was talking. You interrupted Tiff. And then Tiff was, like, finishing her statement. And you were like, you can't let me talk? Like, literally, Mildred. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? It's crazy that Mildred did the domestic violence on Tiff. I'm telling you, I would have beat the fuck out of Mildred. Especially at Tiff's weight and height. I would have fucked Mildred's ass up. That, I'm telling you guys, I have been in an emotional and mental, physical, abusive relationship where my partner does something really, really bad to me, and I'm telling them like, hey, this hurt me. And I straight up asked my partner one time, I asked him, I said, if I did that to you, he said, I would break up with you. He said, I would never let you treat me how I treat you. And that still wasn't enough. Young and dumb, guys, young and dumb. But that still wasn't enough. So I have been there, Miss Tiff. I have been there, Miss Alexander. I get it. When they got their nails in you, that shit is sunk. I get that shit. But man, oh man, guys. I'll tell you what, guys. That shit is hard when they have their hooks in you. But Mildred and Tiff, Honestly, Mildred is worse than Tiff, honestly, because I think Tiff was really hyped up over Mildred, to be honest, because Sam put her ass in check a few times and that calmed down. Um, but I just overall, like, I can't believe she's doing that around an autistic kid. Like, some of the shit my brother had to witness makes me sick to my stomach. Makes me really sick to my stomach. I think that's why when my mom passes away, I hope she doesn't, but you know it's stage 4. That's why, like, when my mom passes away, I'm taking him. I'm taking him. I'm taking him. I already told all my siblings. I'm not bullshitting with you guys. If one of my siblings tried to take me to court for him, I swear to you on my life, I'm pulling out all the fucking shit on them. I'm telling the court every illegal fucking thing, because they don't stop doing illegal shit. I'm saying everything. If they try to fight me for my brother, I swear to you I'll fucking kill them. I swear to you. They'll literally die in prison. I don't give a good goddamn. You don't you don't do that around any child. You damn sure don't do it around an autistic one, where it would be harder to explain why certain things were going on, why, you know. And they're like dogs. Like, if you like start yelling around Romeo, he starts shaking, pissing, he might even throw up. He'll like it's really bad. Like, he'll cry. Same thing with my brother. Like, I don't play that shit. It's one thing to do it around regular kids that you can kind of explain to, or when they get older you can explain to one day. It's so hard to explain shit to autistic kids, and I've worked with autistic kids a very tiny bit. It's hard to explain certain shit that goes wrong to them. Certain ones, you know, some pick it up, but some, I don't play that shit. And apparently Mildred's son is, like, you know, autistic. And I can't remember what Tiff exactly said, but it's a little hard to have a bond with him. But it's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. We should look into why Mildred has custody of this kid. We really should. Like, we should look into why Mildred has custody. We need to be checking on him. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. And it's not even because I don't like Mildred. Like, I just don't play that shit when it comes to kids and animals. Like, I just don't play that shit. I really don't. Like, I think we should be looking into that. Also, so Mildred had an ex-wife. Is that where the kid comes from? So she got divorced with her ex-wife. Or did Mildred get pregnant by a man and that's how she has the kid? And then the ex-wife also just was like, had the kid or whatever. Like, I need to know. Because can the kid go back to the dad, or can the kid go to the ex-wife? Because, like, Mildred shouldn't even have this goddamn kid. Like, I don't know. You guys should watch Tiff's video that she posted on YouTube. I'm still not on Tiff's side. I think they both were stripping for real. But I understand where Tiff was coming from, because I've been in those situations with a partner like that. So I understand where, like, I guess you could say I connect with. It just makes more sense what Tiff's saying than Mildred. And Mildred, a lot of other YouTubers caught this too that I've been watching their videos. I thought when I watched the finale, like when they all got together and everything, I caught Mildred in 2 different lies. I have watched so many other YouTube videos, and I watched Tiff's video. A lot of other YouTubers and podcast people caught Mildred in multiple lies. I knew it when I watched the finale. That's too much. When I watched the finale, I knew Mildred was lying about certain shit. And then, like, you have access to the police report because it's, like, public knowledge or whatever. She lied about what she threw and what actually happened, and then said something different on the show, and then said something else on, like, I guess on social media, or, like, on something she said something different. So she has 3 different stories about what happened with Tiff. And Tiff's story is the exact same of what she said on the show, except for, like, downgrading, you know, what Mildred threw and everything. So I don't know, guys. Like, Mildred's like Yoli, just like a shady ass liar. Oh, and let's talk about that. Do I think it's wrong that they met at Coachella? No. I don't think it's crazy that Yoli and Xander met at Coachella to work things out. I don't think that's crazy. It doesn't surprise me it didn't work. I don't have a problem. I think, honestly, we shouldn't even do the dating show thing anymore, because the couples never end up together any fucking way. Like, a lot of people do it for TV, and then once you're not in a big mansion with each other, drinking cocktails, hitting up the beach and going shopping, once you have, like, real life issues, it doesn't work with these people anyway. So I'm kind of sick of seeing reality dating shows almost. I think, honestly, what would be so entertaining is, why don't you just put, like, 20 lesbians in a house? And say, like, I don't know, like, not even like Bad Girls Club, but, like, no dating or anything. Just put 20 hot lesbians in the house. and say have fun, like fuck it. And not just like films, like dykes, films, like the whole bit chapstick lesbians. I'd love that. I'd skip work to see that shit. Just put like 20 lesbians in the house and tell them, yeah, go do what you gotta do. I think that shit would be crazy. There would be so many random hookups, like people, new relationships, like that shit would be great. Friendships, and it'd be good because it's hard to make friends in the gay community. But I would love to see that shit. I would love to see that shit. I think that shit would be way more interesting. I think that shit would be so much more interesting. Let's see, so that's where the knot is. The knot is right about there. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'd rather see that than another dating show. And lastly, because I like to do things in 5, so I will just do this for 5. Say my last 5-minute little shit. I wouldn't date Tiff or Mildred. I don't know. I don't think I had to say that, but like, I wouldn't date either one of them. I wouldn't be friends with either one of them too. I would be friends with Tiff. I'd be friends with Tiff. Oh, my phone's on 5%. Do I have my charger? Oh, I do have my charger in here. Let's see. Switch this up for you guys real quick. The cord short. Now you guys are like super close, so I'm gonna try to go like further back. There we go. But I just think if you, like I said previously, if you have to give your partner an ultimatum to begin with, you're already fucked. You're already fucked. You're already fucked. I feel like if you are giving your partner an ultimatum, oh, just fucking dump this then. If you're giving your partner an ultimatum, you're already done. You're already done. Like, I think if you have to have a baby on somebody to try to force them to be with you, that's some weird shit. Like I said about my friend, I think that is some crazy shit. This man won't marry you, so you come up off your birth control and get pregnant. This man told you he has no interest in marrying you, so you try to trap him into a long-term situation with you. That's crazy. And then, like, that's why divorce rate's so high. That's why those single mothers, like, that shit is literally beyond me. I don't get that shit at all. And you have to be careful doing shit like that. Like I said, the overall premise of the show is beyond me. I think if you have to, like, trap somebody, or you have to, like, force them, or, like, convince... That's the thing. You shouldn't be convincing anybody to marry you. Somebody should want to marry you because they want to marry you. You shouldn't be convincing people. You shouldn't be having to convince people. You shouldn't be embarrassing yourself on Netflix. Like, that shit's so weird to me. This shit is so weird. Like, if I was with somebody for, like, 3-4 years and I keep asking them to marry me and they won't marry me, then I'm just gonna go. Like, there is no... Well, watch me date somebody else for 3 weeks to see what else is out there. Like, you can do that shit anyway. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The show was funny or whatever, don't get me wrong, but, like, there is no way. There's really no way I would do some shit like that. I feel like if somebody wants to marry you, they're gonna marry you. If somebody wants to have kids with you, they'll have kids with you. Like, that's it. It's not like a whole thing. I feel like that's it. If somebody wants to do some shit, they'll do it. If they don't do it. Like, there is no, like, hidden agenda or anything. I think it's pretty wild to just, like, try to force people into that type of shit. But that's just me, though. That's honestly just me. Like, I just think that's kind of crazy to try to do. But, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much my whole thought on the show. Xander, love her. Sam, love her. Maul needs to figure some shit out. Yoli's disgusting. Mildred is terrible. Vanessa's insane. None of them gave bad bitch energy. They just gave bitch sneaky energy. Like, that's weird. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. I just think the whole concept is actually insane. Forcing somebody to marry you, or, like, trying to convince them why they should marry you. Like, you shouldn't be convincing somebody. Like, especially like the people who have been together for like 2 to 4 years. Like, I'm not saying rush into it. I think you should date somebody for like 2 or 3 years before you marry them or consider having kids with them, because like a lot of different shit can happen in that time period. But I'm just saying, you've been with somebody for almost 5 years. Like, if they don't want to marry you, then like that's that. That's that. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, at that point, it's like, if you have to go on the show and try to like coerce this person into marrying you, like, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. Like, I like Xander, I like Lexi, I like all of them, but like anybody who was like trying to coerce their partner into marriage, like, that's pathetic. You gotta just move on. This person's not trying to do that shit, and it sucks and it hurts. But you just gotta understand, like, that's it. That's it. That's what it is gonna be. And you know what? Sometimes they don't want to marry you because they have some other shit going on, and that shit is something you wouldn't want to be with anyway. So that's that. Okay, guys, so the hair is finished, the video is finished. I'm probably getting fired on Friday. It's Wednesday. I might post this video the day. How did I miss, like, literally, like, sides? I'm probably getting fired on Friday for not being able to be in 2 places at once, especially at a place I already committed to be on those days. But that's life, though. That's life, though. I fuck with the hair. I fuck with the hair. I fuck with the hair. Oh, the hair's a vibe. The hair's a whole vibe. Let me see. Send it to Sonya, see what Sonya thinks. You guys are like, I don't want to see this shit. Okay, guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, babes. Whew, love you guys.